You know, if you are like me, your feelings are a little hurt when all of a sudden your cat just chomps into you for no reason. It happens to me all the time. It's really surprising for a cat owner because we feel like I'm just sitting here, I'm not doing anything, or else you're just petting them or you're playing with them, or you're literally just sitting there and all of a sudden they chomp into you and we're like taken aback by it, like what the hell was that for, right? But you might be surprised to learn that there really are reasons why cats will suddenly bite, and they're really not biting for no reason, and they're really not biting suddenly. There are things going on with the cat that we're not realizing that end with a bite. Okay, or that result in a bite. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why your cat might just bite you all of a sudden for no reason, okay? If you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own peoplelovinganimals.com, and we are a website all about the care, health, and training of dogs and cats. So if you've not been here before, I would love it if you would subscribe. Go ahead, give the video a like if you find it helpful, and go ahead and stick around a little while. I'm going to link a couple more videos for you on the subject of cat biting, and I would love it if you would spend a little time on my YouTube channel and see if there's any other videos that might help you. So welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. I'm going to use this post on my website called "Why Does My Cat Bite Me for No Reason?" to get us through today's video. I'm not going to read you the post. I'm just going to use it to keep me on track and to get us through today's video. I am going to link this post in the description box for you, and anything we talk about during the video, I'll give you the links in the description box so you don't have to worry about trying to find it later. Let me just get my bearings here. So why do cats bite for no reason? You know, it can be confusing, it can be upsetting, and so like I say, sometimes we could take it a little personally, but the reality is that most cats never really bite without a reason. The issue is that their communication is subtle and humans often miss the early signs. What feels random is usually the result of small triggers building up over time. So in today's video, we're going to explore why cat biting seems random, the hidden triggers that most cat owners miss, how subtle body language plays a role, and what your cat might be trying to communicate when this behavior happens. And you're also going to be able to learn, like, what are some of these patterns, and I'm also going to give you a link to my #1 recommended cat training program if you're having like a real problem. Okay, also if you feel like your cat is downright aggressive, later in the video I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a link in the description box for my video about aggressive cat behavior. Okay, so stick with me here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to help you. Why does my cat bite me for no reason? When people say their cats bite for no reason, what they usually mean is that they didn't see anything happen right before the bite. But cats don't react only to the moment. They often react to a build-up of stress, stimulation, or frustration that started earlier. Cats communicate in subtle ways long before they bite. They may freeze, stare, flick their tail, turn or flatten their ears, or become tense. These quiet signals are sometimes missed by the cat owner. The bite becomes their final and most effective form of communication. And so the bite is not random, but we think it is because we're unaware of the signs. By the way, a surefire sign if your cat is about to attack you is if their pupils dilate. And it's actually kind of cute. My cat Whiskers, he has the cutest little face anyway, but when their pupils dilate, you know, the pupil becomes all black and almost fills the eye. So the eyes almost look cartoonish, and it's very cute. But don't be fooled. If their pupils are dilated, they're about to attack. Okay, so that's the one with my cat Whiskers that I always know. That's a sure sign. And you can even see that, like when they're playing with their toys, you know, you can see the pupils dilate before they attack. Hidden triggers most cat owners miss. Many of the reasons behind random biting happen outside of your awareness. For example, simple things like eye contact, scent changes, or routine disruption can create stress for sensitive cats. Direct staring can feel threatening in cat communication. A new perfume, laundry detergent, even the smell of another animal on your clothes can trigger anxiety. Changes in daily routines, such as different feeding times, even different foods, changing their litter box to a different location. It doesn't take much to stress out a cat. Overstimulation is another hidden cause. You may Your cat might seem calm, but their nervous system may already be overloaded by noise, activity, or environmental changes. When the stress builds, even a small interaction can push them past their threshold. The way I think of that is like if you're sitting in your house and you're like sitting here on the couch and you're alone, and for whatever reason, you're a little uptight, you're a little anxious. You could be watching a scary movie, for example, or you could just be worrying about something. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. You have an unrealistic reaction because you're sitting there in anxiety. Like you're sitting there already, already kind of wired on something else, and then all of a sudden, so like your reaction to the doorbell is way out of whack. But you understand, like that's kind of how I see it with cats. Sometimes there's something going on in their little kitty brain that you don't even know is going on, and then all of a sudden you go to touch them or something, and they jump into you. I'm laughing because I mean it is funny. Hopefully for you, your cat doesn't hurt you. My cat doesn't hurt me. I mean it hurts. Cat, the teeth are sharp. It's like ow, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's dangerous. I don't think he's gonna like tear into me or anything. And because the triggers often occur minutes or hours before the bite, it's often easy to assume that the biting came out of nowhere, but it could have been building all day. If your cat's in stress all day long and you don't know why, if people came over, I mean, any number of things. I'm going to give you a link in the description box for my toast and video called Cat Stress Relievers, 10 Things That Stress Your Cat Out. Go ahead and listen to that video because you will be surprised at some of the things that will stress your cat out. And again, if your cat's stressed out about any of the things on that list of 10 things, you might not even know it. And then all of a sudden, you're just sitting there, or you pet them, or you approach them, and all of a sudden they bite you. And you don't know that they've been stressed out. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you come home from a bad day and your kid does something and you like bark their head off and they're like, geez, that was random. No, it wasn't. I've had a hard day. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they're like working up to it and you don't even realize it. Also, emotional stress and frustration. Indoor cats, in particular, can develop frustration if their hunting instincts are not met. Cats are wired to stalk, to chase, to capture prey. Without daily outlets for this natural behavior, their energy and tension can build. The frustration often looks like sudden biting. Your cat can attack your hands, your feet, your legs, especially if you move. From your perspective, it feels random. From your cat's perspective, it's an attempt to release a pent-up hunting drive. Even window activities such as birds, squirrels can create excitement without a resolution. Okay, do you understand? It's excitement without a resolution. This unresolved stimulation can lead to directed behavior toward the nearest target, which could be you. Letting your cat watch birds or squirrels is actually great mental stimulation and enrichment for your cat. The key is making sure that your cat also has daily outlets for their hunting instincts. You can use interactive play with the wand toys, feather toys, interactive toys, puzzle feeders, so that excitement does not turn into frustration or biting. They've got to have an outlet to get rid of that energy, providing a structured daily play and predictable routines can significantly reduce tension and reduce your cat's biting. Also, seeking and learned behavior. I feel a little guilty because I'm kind of guilty of this one. Sometimes my cat is trying to get my attention and, I'm working or I'm busy or whatever, and sometimes I realize he's trying to get my attention and I'm still kind of ignoring him because I'm still busy with what I do. And there has been times when he'll like bite me. He'll like stop, biting my hands and stuff. And I feel bad. He's trying to get my attention. I feel kind of bad. But some cats will bite because it works. If biting gets a reaction, talking, movement, eye contact, or interaction, it can become a learned strategy. It's especially common in intelligent or social cats who want more engagement. If you have an intelligent cat or a really active, very healthy cat, they're not going to be content to lay around all day. They need interaction. They need intellectual stimulation. Do you know what I mean? Even negative attention can reinforce the habit. Over time, the cat learns that biting is the fastest way to get your attention and initiate interaction. Because the pattern develops gradually, it often surprises owners when it becomes frequent. The best approach is to reward calm behavior and avoid reacting to biting, so your cat learns that gentle interaction works better. So make sure you're not rewarding them for that behavior. Like, we can't help but react when we're sitting there and all of a sudden, the cat chomps into us. But just don't make that a habit where that's the only way they get your attention. Okay, that can't be the only way that they can get your attention. And that's on us, right? That we have to realize, the cat needs attention and he shouldn't have to use violence to get it. Do you know what I mean? The cat shouldn't have to go to such extents to get our attention, is what I'm saying. And I'm guilty of it. Redirected aggression and emotional release. Redirected aggression is one of the most misunderstood causes of biting. Your cat may be reacting to something else entirely, such as another animal outside, a loud sound, attention in the environment. Since they cannot reach the sources of the stress, they release that energy onto whoever is closest. This is why bites sometimes occur when you are doing nothing at all. Understanding this can prevent you from taking the behavior personally. The bite is not about you, it's about an emotional overload. Reducing exposure to triggering stimuli and increasing enrichment can help lower emotional buildup over time. I just want to give you a quick example of this, misdirected aggression thing. I lived at an apartment complex, and well, long story short, it doesn't matter where it was. There was two little French bulldogs. They were standing in a glass doorway. They were inside, I was outside. Well, as soon as I saw the two little French bulldogs, I was like, oh, he's so cute. So I was like, oh, well, the two of them, they were standing next to each other. They got so excited, but they couldn't get to me. They're behind the glass. They couldn't get to me. And all of a sudden, they started ferociously fighting. And I thought, that's misdirected aggression. They're overstimulated. I'm the source. I'm the target. I'm what's stimulating, but they can't get to me. They can't release it. And it builds up in them so much that they literally started ferociously fighting. And I felt so bad about it. Like, I wouldn't have interacted if I would have realized, but that's an example of what misdirected aggression is. Okay. But like I said before, if you really feel like your cat is just being aggressive, if they're snarling, if they're hissing, if they're biting you, if they're, you know what I mean, go ahead and watch my video called Aggressive Cat Behavior. That's going to help you to kind of get ahead of that, okay? Why cats bite for no reason? Cats rarely bite for no reason. What feels random is usually a combination of subtle communication that we're not getting, hidden stress, frustration, learned behavior, or emotional overload. The key is to learning to notice the pattern and early warning signs before your bite, before your cat bites you. Understanding the cause of biting is the first step. The next step is teaching your cat what to do instead. I'm going to give you a link to a cat training ebook. It's called The Complete Cat Training Guide. And for several years now, I have been recommending that as my top recommendation for cat owners who need help with cat training. It's an ebook. You download it immediately. You have it forever. And it covers like 25 or 30 real life behavior issues. Okay, so if you're having any issues with your cat, you might want to go ahead and grab that so that you have it. By the way, that's my boy Whiskers in the picture. He's chomping on his little squirrel. By the way, give him something else to chomp on. If they're chomping on you, hand them a toy, stuffed animal. He takes a lot of his aggression out on that squirrel toy, right? Better than my arm. Now, I just want to share one little funny tip for you. The fastest way to stop your cat from biting you, instead of reading this, I'm just going to tell you. Sometimes I'm sitting here on the couch, and I'm sitting, Whiskers is next to me on the couch, and all of a sudden, he chomps into my arm. So I look at him, and he stops, but he doesn't remove his mouth. His mouth is still on my arm, but he's not chomping down, and he just sits there. And I say to him, biting mommy is never the right thing to do. And he goes, and he pulls his mouth away. It's just the cutest thing. It's the cutest thing, but it's my fault. Like whenever it happens, I think, the cat's been sitting there and he's trying to get my attention. I've been ignoring him. I've been looking at something on my phone. I've been looking at something on the laptop. I've been on the phone or whatever. And it's like he has come to the point where he has no choice but to bite me to get my attention, right? But it's a very sweet interaction, really. But So I'm going to give you a link to this post. It's got lots of resources for you that I hope that will help you with your cat. And I'm going to link a couple more videos for you about why cats bite, and also how to train your cat to stop biting. And also I'll give you that video about the 10 things that stress your cat out. And I'll also give you that video about cat aggression. If you feel like this is more than what we've talked about in today's video and you feel like your cat is being nasty, okay? So again, I hope so much that this video has helped you. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again so much for being here. I hope I've helped.